Please don't be viewing that. Thank you.
There's people in it. Oh my God, there's so many people in it.
Please don't be getting this on video. Yeah, it's over.
Those are people walking in a house that is literally being swept away by floodwater. This is a wild kickoff to hurricane season that starts in 2 weeks. This is a preview of the type of response that we can expect from the anti-woke, climate change denying Trump regime. The Greg Abbott, Ted Cruz, and Trump regime Texas flood death toll so far? 70 dead, including 21 children and many still missing, including girls from Camp Mystic. But watch Kristi Noem, the U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security, flat out lie and, as usual, blame Joe Biden.
Failure of the federal government's responsibility to keep us safe.
Well, and at times we have all wanted more time and more warning and more alerts and more notification. That is something, and one of the reasons that when President Trump took office, that he said he wanted to fix and is currently upgrading the technology. And the National Weather Service has indicated that with that and NOAA that we needed to renew this ancient system that has been left in place with the federal government for many, many years.
She has the audacity to name drop the NOAA, which is the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, but mentions nowhere in this press conference that Trump's 2026 proposed NOAA budget cuts climate research to zero and is planning to cut $2.2 billion from the NOAA in total. You forgot to mention that part, Kristi. These weather disaster press conferences would also be the perfect time for you to mention that you and the Trump regime are planning to get rid of FEMA entirely. You also forgot to mention that, Kristi.
We all know from the past that FEMA has failed thousands, if not millions of people. And President Trump does not want to see that continue into the future. So this agency fundamentally needs to go away as it exists.
And just last week, Kristi Noem was bragging about how she was stealing money from FEMA to fund alligator Alcatraz. Imagine dying in a flood because you were too busy funding alligator Alcatraz instead of funding your disaster response. Voting for racism is expensive. It costs you your life, your livelihood, your children's lives. You know what is also expensive? Being an anti-woke climate denier. Extremely expensive. Let's watch more Trump regime incompetence.
Why weren't these camps evacuated yesterday? Texas Department of Emergency Management put out an all-call and said there's going to be a problem. We knew there was going to be a problem. Why weren't these camps evacuated?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
Well, you're the judge. I mean, you're the top official here in this county. Why can't you answer that? There are kids missing. These camps were in harm's way. We knew this flood was coming.
We didn't know this flood was coming. Rest assured, no one knew this kind of flood was coming.
Woke leftists knew it was coming. That's why we are against defunding our National Weather Service and climate change research.